Did you consider being an advocate at that time, or did that come later after he worked for you?
I probably, you know, just a couple of months later. I mean, because once he was there, I mean, he just became a part of the neighborhood, actually. And, you know, as far as, too, with my family, my son used to come after school. He was in middle school at that time and come after school to the store. And I'd say, why don't you push Mike over to so-and-so? And he would like, oh, mother. You know, I mean, it's just a typical reaction that, you know, he didn't want any of his buddies to see him pushing Mike around, right. You know. And I wish now that I could start young, like with kindergartners, and us go and, you know, get Mike and some other people who have even different issues that Mike, they're in a wheelchair, where kids become more comfortable, start young, because, you know, I learned a lot. And I thought I was, you know, I would be able to handle it. But there's a lot of things to it, like just going to the bathroom, or, you know,
well, just going anywhere.
Anywhere.
Just going anywhere, you know, and have a wheelchair, you know, and Adam, that you have to take with you.
Adam came and helped, mainly because Mike was a little too heavy for me to get out of a car a lot. You know, I was going to the chiropractor all the time. There's a lot of struggles.
So you admit that it was very difficult in the beginning. But you hung in there.
I hung in there, and, you know, mainly because of him. I mean, he just, you know, he was so anxious to do the right thing, to work hard, to learn something. You know, he was just a good kid, and he's got an unbelievable sense of humor.
Let's talk about some of the successes and struggles. We're going to meet Mike later in the show, certainly, but let's talk about some of the successes and struggles. There's a long list of them here, so I'll just kind of let you tell us a little bit about your story and how it worked to what I'll refer to as the big day, if you will. Okay.
Well, probably one of the biggest struggles was with his family, and us mainly just even wanting to put internet in his room at the nursing home. That was a no, and him getting out and about more often, you know, is a no. And when you're in the nursing home, you can only spend 5 days out a night, 5 nights out of the year, or you lose your bed. So, you know, he couldn't go couldn't go on a trip or anything, or I couldn't take him for a night out, so to speak. But we saw the article in the paper about our neighbor, and I thought, well, maybe he can live there. So I went tons and tons and tons of paperwork to try to figure out waiver programs and assistance and caregivers that would help him once if we could get him out of the nursing home.
And explain to us, if you would, for those of our viewers who don't know, what Our Neighbor is.
Our Neighbor is a nonprofit started by Marty Owens and Randy Owens here in Gainesville, whose main mission is to provide housing for disabled young adults in order for them to reach independence and eventually transfer into their own apartment or their own house, and help with employment, just to help them become a valuable part of the community, because that's what they want to be.
So you thought, hey, maybe I can find Mike a new home.
Right. But when I met Mike, and for years, I mean, he'd worked for me for 5 years before Our Neighbor came around. But, you know, I had never thought, you know, my mission is to get him out of here, until an opportunity presented itself that might work. So, and another struggle was the court situation with his mother and his stepfather. They did not want him out of the nursing home at all. They just thought he needed 24-hour care, and that he just wouldn't be safe. And they, you know, resented me trying to go against their wishes.
Right.
So it was a long haul, but
and you
Judge
all went to court.
Yes.
You went to court, and it was tough.
It was real tough. It was real tough, and I admire Mike. Several other people had tried to help Mike get out in the past, and, you know, with just the threat of being sued and stuff, Mike would back off, because I don't think he wanted his friends hurt, you know. And we stuck with it and had a wonderful, wonderful attorney here in town who helped us. And he kept telling me, "D'ete, just be patient. Let's just be patient." Because I was thinking, you know, let's get the ball rolling. Let's get him out. And I think it worked just perfect, because Mike was ready. He trusted me to not give up, you know.
I heard you say, I heard that you said that if we hadn't have had this relationship, if it hadn't have taken so many years, it might not have happened.
Right.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
You know, I just think the trust was there, and I was committed then, you know, so. But, you know, things went well. Judge Cornett just did a beautiful job, and really, once she understood what was out in the community and what the state offered as far as help for him once he got out, she was, you know, she agreed. And the administrator at the nursing home was fabulous. He just said, you know, I've taken care of Mike for 5 years while I've been here, you know, but if he just had an opportunity, I just hate not to give him the shot.
Okay, I tell you what, you've kind of set the story up, the next part of this interview up for us. You and I could talk about Mike getting out of the nursing home all day, but there's nothing like watching the video of the day that he actually got out of the nursing home, which was May 1st, 2007.
He's a Harley kind of guy. She's signing that she's going to be taking care of.